This is $1,000 trade. Except entry, I made a lot of mistakes in the trade, starting from entry until the exit. But still, I was able to manage my trade right from the entry and then the risk management and the exit, because for the only reason I was able to read the liquidity, where the top edge and bottom edge, where exactly it's going to break out, where exactly it's bouncing, where exactly the more buyers are staying, where exactly more sellers are staying. If you understand order flow and liquidity, you'll be able to manage, even though if you make some mistakes, because we are human, we're going to make some mistakes. It's all about how we manage. That's what matters. So let's take a look. First, let's look at the trade entry. When the morning started, you can see the pre-market was moving up. You can see the market was moving up. I was watching the swings and I was watching the liquidity. But once the peak went up, the market went to the liquidity, a sudden drop when the market opened. When the market opened, sudden drop, but it's staying in between. But one thing I was noticing is that the strong ask liquidity was started forming here. Strong buy bids are staying here. That means market got stuck here. Same thing I can see in the NQ market also. When the market dropped, it stays there, but there is a strong bias here, not strong, little bit, but that's a very strong ask here. The price went to the exactly where the liquidity was there, touched the liquidity and trying to come down. Like I see some sort of rejection on the NQ. I can see some sort of rejection on the ES, some sort of rejection on the MES as well. On three charts, I can start seeing price went to the liquidity, took the liquidity, and then rejection. That means it's a sign of liquidity sweep. It's sweeping, then it's gonna come down. So for that, that's where I took the trade, because this is exactly also satisfies the supply and demand rules. What is supply and demand rules? When the price makes a highest and higher lows, sudden drop, it goes back and then create a first lower low. It's an initial sign. But this is where you can see I took the trade on ES, but I also wanted to take the trade on MES little bit later. You will see both why. But only problem that I had in the entry was on the delta side, because every time the price was moving down, you can see the sell orders are more compared to buy orders. But every time the price moving a little bit up, there's a big variation of the buy orders. Buy orders were more, price could not go up. This is my biggest takeaway from order flow delta. Why? When the more sellers coming into the market, these are all red means more sellers compared to buyers, price was dropping freely. But when there are more buyers compared to the sellers before, you can see from here almost here, like 2000 delta, price moved only this much. Okay, again when the price moved down, it was able to move down. That's why I can see there are more pressure to go up than coming down. That's what delta was saying. But even when it took the trade entry already, you can see the entry already, I did not see any red line forming. That means still market is going up. I didn't see any sellers delta yet, but I still took the risk and took the trade, because I believed in the liquidity sweep rejection pattern. I had read that so many times, and now I know what to expect. That's a behavior I took. I took the trade on MES, and then I took the same trade on MES also. We'll see how it plans out. Now you can see the trade on ES and also MES trade. MES was a little bit delayed. I took the ES trade first. That's why you can see the entry price is a little bit lower on MES compared to ES. The next important factor is risk. Every time we take a trade on, once you enter the trade, wherever your stop loss is, doesn't matter. You are taking a risk on the trade. If the price came back and then hits your stop, that means you're losing some money in there. So that's what we define as a risk. The goal should not be trying to make money, big money, but for me, one thing I learned over the years is initial goal. As soon as I enter the trade, my first goal is to remove the risk. That means once I enter the trade, we will have the risk on. I wanted to manage my trade such a way that how fast I can remove my risk and still trade the trade. I'm going to repeat one more time. The goal is to remove the risk completely, $0 risk from some, let's say $200 risk or $300 risk or $300 stop loss. You need to find a way to remove the risk completely, come back to break even at zero. Even the trade loses back, you should not lose anything. That's what we call it as a break even point. That means you need to remove the risk completely. That's your first goal. That's what my goal always when I enter the trade. So we made a trade, we made the entry. Now we are in a trade right now. We are under risk on state. We are in the risk on state. Once in the risk on state, we need to find a way to move to risk off state. Let me show you how I manage that in this case. Okay, the way I enter always is every time I enter the trade, I take always multiples of 2. Here's the reason why. If I either enter the 2 contracts or 4 contracts or doesn't matter, 6, always multiples of 2. The reason is first partial contract I wanted to remove the risk. Let's say you're taking $200 risk. That means stop loss, if it goes back for one contract, you're taking $200 risk for each contract. So if each contract have $200 risk, that means if I make the $200 on the positive side, it will negate the risk. That means right now I had 2 contracts right here on both on ES and MES. Each contract had, let's say, $250 risk. So my first contract I always place, you call that as 1R. For me, I call that as if the price hits here, that means my risk will be $0. I'll move from risk on to risk off. Why? Right now 2 contracts at $250 each on the risk. If I close the one contract with the $250 profit, the profit of $250 on the first contract will make my second contract negate the $250 from the profit from the first one. Now with the remaining one contract, I am risk free. So whatever happens after that, once I hit the partial contract, doesn't really matter. It does not affect my emotions. It does not push me, increase my stress level or increase my decision making process. Once I remove the risk off the table, then I can trade freely, think clearly, such a patience. That's why that's very, very critical. So let's take a look how this trade from risk on state move to risk off, and then how you're going to manage. You can see the price is moving. My initial goal, like I said, I wanted to make sure I take the first partial off to make the zero risk state, break even state. So I can see the ES is reached a partial right now on ES, now on MES. After the first partial contract, even the trade reverses back and hit my stop loss, I am not going to lose even a penny, because now at risk off state, completely risk free, because the initial partial is going to cover my stop loss risk here. Now we remove the risk. We are in a risk free state right now. But next thing what we need to plan, how we're going to manage a trade, how we're going to exit the trade profitably. This is where I made the mistake today, but I'll show you what are the mistakes I made and then how I end up still made a perfect exit after that. So if you look at the chart right here, once the trade was moving along, I can see the price was making lower lows and lower highs. So I thought maybe it's going to trend much lower. I don't want to exit at the smaller profit. I wanted to see how much maximum I can maximize it. And then to confirm my theory, I started seeing so much of sellers started coming in. You can see on the ES side, you can see on the MES side, but I did not see anything. It's completely, there's no sellers pressure on the MNQ at all. So MNQ is completely vacant. That means free space. Price can go back in there. It was so free. And also I can see the seller starts coming in. But a lot of ways I thought my mind made up already. Okay, I'm not going to exit now. I'm going to stay in the trade even if this volatility goes back and forth. I'm going to stay in the trade longer. I'm going to wait till the market slides down even further, trying to make a bigger profit. That's where it's not wrong, but because I saw some clues about liquidity starts building here and then building here, I made up my mind I'm not going to exit. So if at all, if I didn't see that, if at all didn't make my mind, where should I exit? Right here. Why? You can see the price came down, bounced, price came down, bounced. It came down this time. Previous times it did not sweep the liquidity, right? But this time it swept the liquidity. This time it swept the liquidity. This time it swept the liquidity. I can see the confirmation in all ES, MES, and as well NQ, clear liquidity sweep. Now if it is a rejection, it's going to just rejection, it's going to stay and go down, or it's going to go up, which I don't know, but I'm determined that I can see strong sellers starts coming in. I thought prices may go up and then sweep this liquidity and then still slide down. This is where I got a little bit greedy. I can see the liquidity there. It'll go up. So I'm okay to price to go up from here to here, because I'm hoping after taking liquidity, it'll come down further. That's where my mindset was. So I decided that I'm not going to exit. So I kept my target way far so that like price can stay in the volatility. As long as one thing, if you notice, I moved my stop to break even already. Why? I started seeing strong liquidity wall started building up. So I don't need to hide my stop behind this liquidity. I can hide my stop behind this liquidity right now because it's much more stronger, lot of lines. So this is a very good place to hide my stop behind the liquidity. So I moved my stop from here to here. That means now whatever happens, I already made $250 profit on the first contract, partial contract. Now in this trade, so far almost close to 700, but still I wanted to stay in the trade longer. Let's see what happens. Like I said, the liquidity was swept. I should have exited there, like I mentioned, because I can see the liquidity was swept. Instead of sliding down further, it's going back into the range of the liquidity. But I'm okay going back to the strong ask above, because the stop is behind the strong ask. So I'm determined that it's okay. Let the market be volatility. I'm going to stay in the trade longer because I'm hoping the market will continue to slide down, even if it takes multiple volatility ranges back. But I'm determined to stay there. So, but that's not what happened. But the good news is, like I expected, the price went to the strong ask and then bounced right down. It pushed the prices down. That's why you need to rely on the strong liquidity. Liquidity is a better place to keep your stop. Right here. Wait, you will see what happened. Okay, price went to the place. Look at how close it swept the entire liquidity. It swept the entire liquidity and then starts coming down. This is the exact reason why you need to keep your stop behind your strong liquidity. And then here's the worst part. The price went down further, but it rejected back into the range immediately. That is the sign I said, okay, you know what? Price is not going down further. I can see the huge wick, and then price is not going down further. So I said, no, screw it. I'm going to exit on the place where I see the multiple bounces back, a lot of support at the order flow level. But good thing is that my stop is behind the strong ask. You can see price could not go above the strong liquidity. You can see multiple times it's attempted, even now right here, but it did not. Again, it started coming down. So by this time, I already gave up because it's almost 1 hour since it took the trade, market going sideways. But the greatest thing I want to take away from is that reading the liquidity is going to help you not only for the entry, to keep your stop, manage your trade. Right here, I'm exiting, I'm done. Now first contract I closed at 250, second contract I closed at 750. Overall it's $1,000 trade, but the key is reading the liquidity. If you are interested in learning how to trade using level 2 market depth, liquidity and order flow, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, drop in the comments. I will answer all the questions in the next video.